Turns out there's a very common theme with my childhood favourite Disney films. This is of course my top 5 childhood favourite Disney films, and this was considerably easier to compile than my list of top 5 all-time favourite Disney films, which I did a few months ago. And it turns out that I was very one-track minded when it came to Disney. No prizes for guessing what kind of Disney films I liked the most. So I don't really believe these are in any order, but the first one was without a doubt my all-time favourite Disney film, probably my all-time favourite childhood film. This is The Lion King. I was Lion King obsessed. My father and I used to reenact little scenes from it. I was always Mufasa, he was always Scar. Didn't end very well, but it was great fun, and I had a lot of like Lion King toys and merchandise and things. I was obsessed with it, and it's a film that needs no introduction. I also loved Simba's Pride. I mean, I was a die-hard fan of Simba's Pride. I had goldfish called Kovu, Kiara and Simba, and I absolutely I loved it. And for me, it is unrivaled. I am a self-confessed crazy cat lady, and I was a self-confessed crazy cat child. I have always loved cats. Needless to say, I loved the Aristocats. Perfection. I absolutely loved it. I had a pretend wedding in the school playground to Thomas O'Malley. And I had a ring made out of a twig or something, I can't remember what it was, a leafy twiggy thing. And my friend, who was also called Amy, was the vicar, and I got married, and I think I was about 8 or 9. The Aristocats is adorable. I always got really upset when they went off to Timbuktu, and I love it. It brings back so many happy memories. I don't think I really like it that much now as an adult. And I never really cooed over Marie. I was always all about O'Malley. But nostalgically, perfection. Okay, so no surprise for guessing the next one. It's Oliver and Company. Oh my goodness, I cannot watch this film. Obviously as a child I hadn't heard of Dickens, I didn't know who Oliver Twist was, I didn't really understand the Fagin reference, but I loved Oliver and I loved the dogs, and it was perfect, and I really felt like I could relate to Jenny. She was much more wealthier than I was, much more talented than I was, much more beautiful than I was, but I still loved Jenny. Unfortunately, I can't watch this film now because I cry. As soon as I put it on, I cry. Also, Joey Lawrence voiced Oliver. That's adorable. I loved it so much. It was one of my favourite films. I watched it over and over again. I used to, do you know the scene where Todd, was it Todd? Is that what his name? Oh my goodness. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Where he leaps from the New York taxi in the song Why Should I Worry? I used to do that from my sofa. I used to reenact a lot of these scenes from my favourite childhood films. Oliver and Co. was amazing, but now I just look at a picture of Oliver and start welling up. I now can't walk in a snowstorm without thinking that I am Patch in that scene where all the puppies are walking in the snowstorm. 101 Dalmatians, I loved it. Again, I haven't seen this one in a very long time because I just watched them so much as a child that I just listen to one of the songs and I can picture it and I can just play it in my head. But I loved 101 Dalmatians. I thought it was such a sweet story. Cruella never really scared me as such, but I didn't really like her either as a character. She was bit odd, but even as an adult she's not one of my favourite Disney villains. She's too calm, she's not dark enough, but she is great fun. And Patch was always my favourite, and the little plump one, Rolly. 101 Dalmatians cannot really be compared to anything else because on its own it is perfection. I loved 101 Dalmatians 2, which was really good, and I loved the live action as well, but the animation is definitely the best. Lastly, we have another one that I cannot watch as an adult because it makes me cry, and this is Fox and the Hound. Yes, you've guessed the theme correctly. All of my childhood favourite films were animal films, and Fox and the Hound, we have Todd and Copper, and it was just so heartbreaking, and I love Todd and I love Copper, and separation and heartache and threat and danger and guns, and it's insane. Emotional roller coaster. It's tragic, and I cry, and I don't actually know if I've seen the second one or not. Fun fact, Tim Burton drew some of the background scenery for Fox and the Hound, which is delightful. But yeah, so that probably would have been the first ever Tim Burton worked on film that I ever saw. But yeah, Fox and the Hound, I loved it, but again, far too emotional now. Needless to say, my style and my preferences have changed dramatically. Now I love darker Disney films. I love Maleficent, I love The Evil Queen. But back then it was all cute and fluffy. Very different times, long time ago. But these were, you know, very, very fond memories of watching these and reenacting these and playing with associated toys. I did have a Cinderella castle. I did used to really like Sleeping Beauty. But for me, it was all about the animals. Let me know your 5 favourite childhood Disney films, and I'll speak to you all soon.